challenge of moving forward without your big guy inside?
Yeah, it'll be tough. Obviously, he was, a big producer and did a lot of good things for this team. But, we got a lot of guys that are ready and, accept the challenge. They've been working, they've been preparing for this, and, I think they're really excited for the opportunity. So it's not just going to be one guy that replaces him, but, it's going to be a collective effort. It's got to be the whole team. And, I'm excited for those guys. They've been waiting for this opportunity, and, they're going to get their chance. And, my advice to them is just, play their heart out, know their role, don't try to do too much, and, try to help the team win. And, I think they're ready for that, and, I'm excited to see it.
You've been scrapping as an undersized 4 this year anyway, and how do you guys make up for that in class defensively and such?
We're gonna have to compete. We're gonna have to have guys, play as hard as they ever have in their lives, and like I said, there's a lot of guys that are excited for this, and I think they're ready and they're gonna be willing to give it everything they got. So it'll be good opportunity for them.
I was gonna say, Payton, being one of the leaders on this team, I mean, do you kind of meet with some of those guys and kind of talk them, not talk them through because they've played quite a bit of basketball, but just knowing their role and being in different spots? Like Riley seems like he's gonna get more minutes, maybe Logi's into some different situations. Do you kind of sit down and talk with them?
Yeah, I've had a lot of discussions with a lot of guys, about how we move forward and how things are gonna look different, and it opens up a ton of opportunities for guys, and they have different skill sets than Owen. They have things that they do really well, and I think we got to find a way to utilize those things. And maybe for what they lack, I think they can make up with an effort. And they're really excited, and they've been working really hard for this. They've been great team guys and putting in all the extra hours and just continuing to stay ready. And I'm excited to see them work at it.
Can you speak to the physical challenges that this team has faced this year? I mean, Coop's been out a good portion of the year. Owen's out. I know you've had some injuries. Josh has had some battles.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy, and every team kind of deals with that. I think, I'm really proud of the guys that are fighting through a lot of stuff. It hasn't been easy at all. It's been hard to keep rhythm as a team, through practices when guys are missing practice and just kind of willing themselves through the game. And it isn't easy, but a lot of teams deal with it, and we just got to keep at it, stay together, and that's how we'll win games.
Not to look too far back in the past, we haven't talked to you since Ohio State. Just the road games, what do you feel like hasn't, clicked as a collective, going on the road and playing?
Yeah, I think we've just had a real big trouble kind of withstanding runs. It feels like the lead goes from 6 to 20 like that, and that's kind of where, we gotta come together, and we gotta have a little more fight than we've had, in those moments. I think that's been the big thing. We've shown we're capable of coming back, but it's that much harder on the road. So we can't be front runners. We got to find a way to just battle through that adversity, and I think that's where we're still continuing to improve.
In conjunction with the runs, I've heard from you, I've heard from Fran about the quick shooting. What's the cure for not being too trigger happy on the offensive end?
I wouldn't say that we're getting bad looks a lot of the time, but you just got to know on the road you got to kind of get gritty. I think on offensive possessions, and make them work a little bit. Even if you score a quick shooting, it can you got to go back and play defense, and we play that up tempo style, and that's what coach and that's what we want to do. So that's kind of the problem with it is when teams are on those runs and we're kind of missing shots we normally make, it just kind of snowballs.
Did you take any inspiration from what the women pulled off yesterday?
Yeah, that was fun to watch. I hope we can get the same level of support. That was such a big impact on the game, especially early and down the stretch at the end. And I'm proud of those girls, the way that they've struggled this year. They've had their struggles, and it's something they really haven't had to fight through before. And they found their way, and it's just going to keep getting better.
Payton, I guess, how important was this past kind of week for you guys, just because of all the physical challenges? You get a couple days off to kind of rest. I guess, how important was the timing of this kind of extended break, so to say?
Yeah, it was nice. I got to go home for a little bit and just kind of reset. It was a long stretch, it felt like, and the body and the mind had kind of broken down. So get to kind of reset, get to come home, play in front of our fans, and I think everybody's excited to get back out there and ready for the opportunity.
I know Purdue looks a little bit different this year, but top 10 team coming to Carver. How fired up are you for this type of challenge?
Yeah, you know, they've had our number. They got a really good program. They got a lot of really good players playing at a really high level, and you know, they present a challenge. And I think we're all really excited for the opportunity. And you know, it's going to take everything we got to get this one done.
Did you get in the gym when you were back home and get the shot doctor working with you a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's been hard. I haven't been able to really work on my shot at all, just with all the injuries, and that really takes you out of rhythm. And that's something, you know, I've had to fight through. And something I really haven't experienced before is, you know, just kind of being such a big rhythm player. It's you know, I just love shooting, and I do it all the time. And that's kind of, you know, been a step back. I just have to, you know, take a different approach and, you know, try to work through it more mentally than physically. But you know, I was able to get home and, you know, be with my dad and my grandpa, and we worked on a ton of stuff, and you know, all different sorts of shots. So I think it'll be good, and you know, I'm ready to, you know, go on a hot streak now.
Peyton, with Josh, you know, with Owen Freeman being out, you know, Josh Dix really hasn't, you know, played up to his standard over the last couple of games. I guess you, as his teammate and one of his good friends, how do you kind of continue to uplift him and fill his confidence and be kind of a positive influence on him? Because I know he has a couple of battles that he's kind of fighting himself too.
Yeah, you know, he's someone that doesn't really, you know, react to the ups and the downs, and you know, he's always even keel, and you know, you never know that he's struggling, but you know, he's such a great player, and you know, he was playing so confidently for a good portion of the season. You know, and these last few games don't change anything about, you know, how we feel about him. You know, every time he shoots it, I think it's going in. So we just got to keep feeding him. We got to get him going, and you know, I'm very confident that he will.
You've talked about the importance of just staying together as a team. Like, do you feel like you guys have been able to do that?
Yeah, I think you know, we've stayed together. You know, it's hard to do, but you know, I'm really impressed with the guy. You know, all the guys and the way that, you know, we've supported each other and been there for one another. And you know, it seems like there's a ton of distractions, which, you know, a lot of guys can really struggle with. You know, going through this season, there's a lot of ups and downs, but you know, we just try to stay together, try to block out the outside noise, and just, you know, stay tight. And you know, we've done a really good job of that. And, you know, I'm impressed with the way we've been practicing lately. So we need to translate, and we just got to bring that same effort.
What was your immediate reaction when it was revealed or it was decided that Owen was going to be done for the season?
You know, personally, it was just to, you know, reach out to him, make sure, you know, that everything's okay, and you know, be there as a friend. I know, you know, it's not easy, you know, playing through something like that. And then after that, it's reaching out to the guys that, you know, we need to step up. And you know, I like I said, I'm really excited for, you know, their opportunities, and you know, I think they're really excited. They're, you know, getting their chance, and they're ready to do something.
Obviously, there's no exactly replacing Owen with these three guys, but I guess what do you look at for those three, like Evan, Logi, Riley, and say, you know, I'm excited for them because they're going to contribute this, or I have confidence in them because of X, Y, Z? Yeah,
you know, they really know how to play in the motion game. They're great screeners. You know, they can score, they can roll, they're great athletes. You know, they know the system really well, and it's going to be a collective effort from the three of them. You know, we need them to go in there. We need them to, you know, kind of enforce the game. We need them to be very physical, and you know, I don't think, you know, they need to worry all that much about foul trouble. I think, you know, they just need to play as hard as they can, and you know, they've all been willing to do whatever it takes to win in all their time here, you know, regardless of if they're not getting any of the credit or they're not on the floor. So I think they're ready to shine now.